So earlier this week, I published an article about the Riot Games hack where a hacker stole the League of Legends and Teamfight Tactics source code, as well as the source code for an anti-cheat called Packman. Shout out to Riot Keo, as his nickname is Packman. The hacker also got his hands on the anti-cheat called Demacia and Xigncode3. Well, I got to interview the hacker themselves, and I want to take you through a tour of how I tracked him down, basically step by step, and how it really wasn't that difficult. I noticed that investigative journalists don't really show how they found the information that they found. And although I don't really consider myself a journalist, and I'm sure the reason why journalists don't do this is because it would often burn their sources, but here, I don't really have any secret sources, and this really isn't as investigative as you might think once I show you how it was done. Also, I'll be sharing some screenshots of the chat I had with the hacker named rcat001 that wasn't in the actual article. Alright, let's get into it. First, Motherboard put out the breaking news report that Riot Games had been hacked and said they joined a Telegram chat to watch communications between Riot and the hacker. That's the first clue that the hacker is using Telegram to communicate. Then it's just a matter of finding out this guy's Telegram. So I stumbled upon VX Underground, a Twitter account which reveals global hacks from around the world. They made comments on this Riot Games hack, which posted screenshots talking to the hacker, saying, "The individual responsible for the Riot Games breach has given us more information. Social engineered an employee via SMS, that is text messages. Initial goal was stealing Vanguard, which is the anti-cheat that's used in Valorant. They pivoted through the network, was unable to get domain controller." I have no idea what the fuck that means, but I assume like a server control. And SOC, the Security Operations Center, detected them in approximately 36 hours, which is very short. In another tweet, they said they did not deploy any malware to the network, managed to escalate privileges by social engineering a company director. They stated they would not give us more information at this time. More information will be shared in the following days. Now, they had a picture of messages confirming that they talked to the hacker and that the response time from Riot to kick the hacker out of their network was done in 36 hours. VX Underground then posted a screenshot showing that the hacker had access to player data and was posting the code for sale on breach forums. There was also another tweet from VX Underground which said, "Staff members at Breached confirmed the legitimacy of the seller and his materials. They vouched and the seller asserted a middleman is appropriate for any potential buyers. It appears legitimate." So clearly, I had to find out what this breached forum was, and a quick Google search, and you can find it yourself as well. Now, I'm not going to show you the actual web address, but if you do go looking for it, just be careful. If you go into the lion's den, you better be prepared. There, I found the hacker's actual post. Here's the post itself, and he is asking for $700,000 with a zip file containing the file directories. So, naturally, like an idiot, I download it. The screenshots show the file size is 72.4 gigabytes of data in total, with 572,129 files. The hacker's post also shows his Telegram address. I first look up what the fuck a Demacia anti-cheat is along with a Xigncode3. You'll see that clearly I'm out of my element when it comes to programming, hacking, and security networks. I went to college for programming and then I dropped out, but hopefully I learned something from you, Mr. Myers, because I'm really gonna need it right now. Turns out that there was a Reddit post from 2016 saying that Xigncode3 was being complained about in Riot Korea. Players were saying the anti-cheat was too invasive, that it would read what files you opened on your computer, no matter what they were in relation to. Xigncode3 is used in popular games like Black Desert Online and other Asian games typically. Turns out, Riot Korea saw this as a big PR shitstorm and decided to develop their own anti-cheat called Demacia, which they partnered with Welbia, the company that made Xigncode, to help make a custom code just for Riot. Okay, boom. I just solved what the fuck a Demacia and Xigncode3 was. Now it was time to actually message the hacker. I asked him first if he was part of this famous group called Octopus or Scattered Spider, which is just the same group, if he implemented a hacking method called Project Icebreaker. Now, how did I learn about Project Icebreaker? I actually got a random tip in an email from a fan that saw my previous video about the greatest hacker data breach in League of Legends history. If you haven't seen that video and you like this one, you'll definitely love that video, so go check it out. Anyways, this random tip told me about Project Icebreaker, so naturally I search it up and find that it's this hacking technique which threat actors talk to a customer service rep and say they're having a problem but they don't really know what's going on, so they send a screenshot via a Dropbox link. The link isn't real though. The link uses what's called a IDN homograph attack. That's a internationalized domain name homographic attack. That's when someone uses characters that look like English, but really they replace it with something else. For instance, a Russian uses what looks like the letter A, but really it's a Russian letter A. So that would make the link a completely different web address. Really smart stuff, actually. Anyways, so the hacker gets you to click a link which contains a screenshot of whatever their problem is. You, as the dumb customer service agent, downloads the file and you're immediately infected along with your network. Now, this is what I thought the Riot hacker might have done, but turns out he didn't even use files to penetrate Riot, and this is what he confirmed when he talked to me in the chat as well. This goes back to confirm that what VX reported about him sending text messages to get access was in fact true. What's also strange that I thought throughout this entire chat was that he kept referring to himself as we, suggesting that it was a team. I couldn't confirm if he was in a team or not, although he did say that it was a rogue attempt. I confirmed that he also had access to player data such as emails, and why he wasn't able to get Riot Vanguard, he simply responded that he didn't have enough time. So now I had to figure out why Riot was so fast at responding to the threat. A quick Google search and digging through several Riot cybersecurity LinkedIn and Twitter accounts, I saw one of their former senior engineers give a conference talk. Here is where he breaks down Riot's infrastructure.
Now with our own RC242 infrastructure that's heavily open source, we have actually integrated our bespoke threat intel into that. So this is what it looks like on a daily basis, and hopefully I've taken out all the secret sauce. But as you can see, all IDS systems go to the one point, and then you can drill down into each individual IDS system.
So basically, yes, this is what Riot calls their IDS, or Intrusion Detection System, which they have a file system for called a JSON file, which keeps track of each office and the network status of them. I guess this is different from other companies, as most just view the entire network, and if an intrusion happens, they then have to hunt down specifically what office. Riot was smart and they divided their network so that they can immediately find which department was compromised. By the way, all the security experts were saying that Riot's response time was very fast. Riot is actually surprisingly good at security, if nothing else, of their spaghetti code of the game. They even had a bug hunting program where white hat hackers can hack games like League or TFT or Valorant. I guess they paid some guy like $75,000 for a bug exploit in the League of Legends client. Infinite flashes, anyone? Lastly, I asked for comment from Nicole Dove. head of Riot Security with some of the following questions. I'll boil it down for you, but it's: can you confirm which department was penetrated? Is the hacker part of a larger group? Was the social engineering hack Icebreaker used? Because remember, the hacker could just lie to me and say that he wasn't using it, right? Are you still using Xigncode3 in any of your anti-cheat software? A whole bunch of these questions, but she didn't respond. I also reached out to the Riot's head of communications, and they also did not respond as well. So there you have it. This is how I found the Riot Games hacker, how he did it, how Riot was able to respond so fast, what kind of code he actually stole, and hopefully the FBI don't come knocking on my door. This was just a sneak peek into investigative journalism, although I personally don't think it's really that investigative, since all I did was be really good at Googling, but I hope you enjoyed this. Stay tuned for my next video, as now I'm kind of on a stint of getting to know hacker stuff and all that, so should be a fun one next time. Anyways, peace.